Coming up on Cardinals Insider, it's been awfully sunny in St. Louis.
Throwing my fastball in the right spots and with conviction, you do that enough, then you can force the hitter's hand.
Plus, a Cardinals pitcher is creating a community for other hurlers.
Honestly, I didn't really realize other people would probably want to watch that too.
And later, back together, just like old times.
I remember just all of us just always pumping each other up, staying positive and helping each other out.
Those stories and much more, straight ahead on a brand new Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Azie Smith. In his second year in St. Louis, Sonny Gray is proving what we already knew. He's very good at pitching. Let's get to know him better in this week's Player Profile.
Sonny Gray is on his way to the mound and ready to kick off a new season of Cardinals baseball.
Strike three called, frozen.
I think I used my fastball more early. I feel like I tried to put it in good spots, but also kind of get back to my strengths with those pitches in order to get to the curveball and to get to the sweeper and to get to something else that I throw.
35 years old, made 28 starts for the Cardinals last year, and he expects to be the anchor of this rotation all season long.
Strike three, perfectly placed.
Throwing my fastball in the right spots and with conviction, you do that enough, then you can force the hitter's hand to make a decision.
Swing and a miss, and down on strikes he goes. He swung at a pitch way outside.
In order to force the hitter's hand to do something with that pitch, you have to be good with the fastball. And you have to put your fastball in the right spots in order to force their hand.
And he takes strike three from Sonny Gray, who dotted the outside corner.
And if you don't, then it's a little bit easier for them to sit on it. It's a lot harder to sit on it when I'm still going to come at you with the straight stuff in a good spot, in good locations.
Well, take strike three, a fastball on the outside corner.
Everything for me stems off of my forcing fastball. I just have to remember that.
Kyle Leahy is a major league pitcher, but his interest in throwing strikes has spilled onto the internet. Here's how the reliever is building a community of pitchers online.
I understand that you have a YouTube channel about pitching. How did that come about?
Honestly, it was just to get videos off my phone. So I have videos of guys on our team, guys everywhere that I've learned from over the years, even back into high school, and phone was running out of storage, so I had to put them somewhere, and it was just called Paradigm Pitching. Honestly, I didn't really realize other people would probably want to watch that too, so people have started watching them. It's not a huge following by any means. I'm not talking or doing anything. It's just mechanical videos because I'm a very visual learner and I just learn by watching people. And
The pitch by Leahy, swing and a miss. Sweeney strikes out.
How frequent is that pitchers will kind of lift a technique or something mechanical off another guy or guys that they've played with?
I think it happens all the time. I mean, we constantly talk about it, me and teammates here and guys that I train with in the off season. Guys that I don't even know in baseball, and a lot of people don't know that it's me because it's not my name or anything, but a lot of guys have been like, oh, those are from your phone or whatever? I'm like, yeah, yeah. And then it's funny because I'll see them on Instagram, other people using the same videos, explain different concepts that they're trying to teach or whatever, but.
Bond getting the off day today. The 0-2 pitch to Rogers is swung on and missed. He struck him out. Nasty slider from Kyle Leahy.
No hanger there, right?
Nope.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider, we talk some of the biggest stories of the season so far with Cardinals Magazine. Stay with us. Cardinals Magazine is a great place to dive deeper in the moments and personalities which define Cardinals baseball. Let's check in with them now to hear what stood out in 2025.
Hello and welcome into what we like to call Magazine Roundup. I'm Emily Stevens, and joining me today are two members of the Cardinals Magazine editorial group, Elizabeth Meineke and Mark Emmert. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk all things Cardinals Magazine.
Thanks, it's nice to sit down and chat with you. I don't think we've had a chance to do that since spring training. We've all been so busy.
We really haven't. Well, let's start with a recent cover story. It's about everyone's favorite player, Lars Nootbaar. That's been keeping you busy. Tell us, what's something you've learned about Lars that you think fans would want to know about?
Well, obviously we're trying to focus on why he's such a good leadoff hitter. I assumed that he had great eyesight, and he tells me actually that his eyesight is very average. He actually wears contact lenses.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Even his own hitting coach did not know that. Brant Brown, he said, well, we should all get a pair of those contact lenses because Lars Nootbaar is exceptional at recognizing when a pitch is a ball or a strike. Okay. Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah, that's a really good tidbit to know. Well, Elizabeth, I know that you got to hit the links, hit the golf course with Michael McGreevy. Tell me more about that.
McGreevy kind of was given the task of, which of your teammates would you like to golf with? So he picked a really fun crew. It was Siani and Pages. That was actually my first opportunity to really work closely with Pages as well. And you can immediately see why he's such a popular person in the clubhouse. Pages talked a really good game, but people are gonna have to watch the clip on Cardinals Insider and then maybe pick up the magazine if they want to see how well Pages ended up doing.
Yeah, so. well, I read the article. It was fantastic, and I obviously saw the piece on Insider as well. It's really cool to see the players, out of their element. And Mark, I heard you had a unique experience with Andre Palante. I heard he can actually cook.
He was the talk of the caravan for his culinary skills, and I asked him if that was true, and he said, come on over. And he cooked us up some California burritos. That's kind of his specialty.
That sounds delicious.
It was really good. He makes his own guac, he makes his own salsa.
Andre, I had no idea.
And yeah, and he's also a pretty good pitcher, as we found out. So we talked some baseball in there too, but mainly it was about the food, that outing. And yeah, I mean, to get a Major League Baseball player to make a meal for you, like how many people can say that?
That's so neat.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, I know you guys are reporters. You're always looking for new stories. Can you give us any teases of maybe some new articles fans can look out for this summer?
This is going to be a gift that keeps on giving because Alec Burleson is our player columnist this year. He's 2 columns in, but he's obviously got several more coming. So those are always one of my favorite sections of the magazine. I heard that he's a wrestling fan, so I think that's what he covered in our upcoming issue. So Alec Burleson talking about wrestling, what could be better?
Well, Elizabeth, if fans want to get their hands on the newest edition of Cardinals Magazine, where can they pick one up?
They can always go to cardinals.com/magazine and place an order there. They can either do a single issue order or they can subscribe for the rest of the year.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Straight ahead, John Jay and Daniel Descalso are once again paired up in St. Louis. They talk about it right after the break.
We were the guys that were here early in the weight room, early in the cage.
John Jay and Daniel Descalso were part of 2011's famed Memphis Mafia. They won the World Championship as players, and now they're working to add another one as coaches. Here's what it means to them to be together in St. Louis once more.
I think, as a player, you kind of gravitate to the guys that have the same principles as you, right? Like we talked about, like I'm Miami, he's California, but, I remember watching the way he worked and went about his business, and, he took the game super serious, and it was something that I admired, and I think that's what kind of attracted us to each other in the beginning, and then, like I said, just having that same work ethic, and that's something that as a teammate you respect, and we got to know each other, and here we are now.
Yeah, I think we were the guys that were here early in the weight room, early in the cage, doing extra stuff, the guys that were asking questions, wanting to get better, trying to figure out ways to help a team win. And we just kept having baseball conversations and, hanging out away from the field. And, we just kept hanging out, and, here we are, we still like each other. He's a great, base runner, outfielder, really good feel at the plate. And, when some things weren't working out or when things were going well, ask him about it, and he usually have a good answer, and vice versa. So, you admire the way that guys go about things, guys that have the same values, and trying to pick his brain always as a player and now as a coach has just been super valuable.
I think the biggest thing really was his temperament, right? He was the same exact guy every day, no matter what was going on, didn't matter what opportunities he was getting or not getting, he was always the same guy, and it's something that I always admired about him, and just how he went about his business, right? He took care of, and he always wanted to win, he was a winner, so that's something that, I really admired.
That group of the two of us, Alan Craig, David Freese, lot of good memories with that group, a lot of pot stirring by this guy over here, especially towards Alan Craig. You know, we love Craiger, but this guy could get under his skin a little bit in a good way and a bad way. A lot of good times, just trying to grind our way to the big leagues, hanging out a lot away from the field, trying to take our mind off of, you know, struggles down there. But yeah, lots of fun times with the Memphis Mafia.
I just remember, you know, it was a good group of guys and kind of guys that, you know, we were the guys that we knew were there for a reason, right, to get better every single day. And that group, that was kind of the constant message to each other at the time, where, you know, the Cardinals team here, it was a veteran team. So, you know, you're in the minor leagues trying to become a big leaguer. And I remember just all of us just always pumping each other up, staying positive and helping each other out.
Are you a Yinzer? Well, only if you're from Pittsburgh. But you still might like these foods in this Steel City installment of Ballpark Buffet.
Okay, Cardinals Nation, here we are in Pittsburgh, PNC Park, another great eating town, another great eating ballpark. And we understand they've got some new things that the fans get to try at the concession stands, and they were kind enough to give us a shot at trying some of these things.
First of all, love your hat.
Thank you.
It's good.
Redbird loves to try new things. One of the items they have here is called the Cannonball. Their great broadcaster, Greg Brown, when they Pirates hit a home run, say, Cannonball coming. So, Brad, we've got a couple of cannonballs coming. You give them a shot. Well, look at this.
All right, cannonballs coming. This looks fat-free.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now we're talking.
That's really good.
Sauerkraut, baby? Bacon for sure. Cabbage? I don't know. It's good.
Cabbage,
fried
cheese,
goodness.
fried cheese, anything kind of fried cheesy is good.
You're not messing that up.
Yeah, so how do you rate this one?
I'm going to give this a 6.
6, Redbird?
6. What are you doing?
I'm going 7.
You just always have to one-up me. I'm sick of it.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, cannonball going.
There you go. Put the cannonball in.
Yep. All right, next. There's a really famous sandwich place here in Pittsburgh. It's called Primanti Brothers. I'll hold you on rep.
Okay. It's like Christmas.
Yeah. Look at this thing.
Oh, my Lanza. Get in here.
Go. You go
Check
first.
this out. Oh, my goodness. Just going for it?
Yep.
All right,
we got to show her.
All right, so here we go. We got the meat, French fries, coleslaw, some tomatoes. Again, fat-free, I'm assuming.
Get in there.
Ready? Gonna
Put it in your mouth. Wow, that went in easy.
What?
And?
Go ahead. Yeah.
You want to try it? What you got? Wow. It's got a little of everything. I love the vinegary coleslaw. And the French fries aren't too much, you know? It's perfect. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Pittsburgh.
We nailed it.
These are great. Thank you. Cheers. We'll see you somewhere else on the road.
After the break, this jersey is more than meets the eye. Hear all about it when we return.
Pepper Martin is a Cardinals Hall of Famer, but he isn't typically associated with the 1944 team. However, a new addition to the Cardinals Museum is adding a neat footnote to his story.
This is a 1944 Pepper Martin jersey, possible World Series. Never worn in the World Series though, because he did not play. You can see all this wear. So it was a history mystery that we've solved. By 1944, over 350 major leaguers were serving in World War II. By 1944, the Cardinals roster was completely depleted. The Cardinals were desperate, so who did they call up? Old favorite, Pepper Martin, signed him for a 1-year contract. It was originally thought that the Cardinals didn't wear buttons until after they had clinched the pennant in September 21st, 1944. We reached out to Heritage Auctions because they had this as being a World Series jersey, and we don't have any World Series jerseys from 1944. Martin would only have worn a road jersey with buttons. He would not have worn a home jersey with buttons until the World Series. He didn't play. Here's a photo from August 20th, 1944. They're wearing buttons. There's a photo on the back. I believe that's July. they're wearing buttons. We get this email from Heritage Auction saying, hey, we may have photo matched this jersey. Plus, they add in, we have a certificate of authenticity from the son of the man who owned this jersey. I found this image. Oliver takes a look at it with the scoreboard and cross-references the American League schedule in 1944. So this means that this jersey, they started wearing them directly after the All-Star game.
Here comes the pitch, and there it goes.
So that turns this jersey from a potentially not game-used jersey that he wore during the World Series to a season, to a gamer, and a fantastic museum artifact.
Keene St. Louis creates opportunities for kids with disabilities to participate in sports and recreational activities. Here's how they're partnering with the Cardinals to further their impact on kids in our region.
Keene St. Louis provides activities for kids with disabilities to come enjoy fitness and fun. Today was our sports session at St. Louis University High School, so all of our athletes, who we call athletes, kids with disabilities, are paired one-on-one with the volunteer coach. Just for some recreation, they have an opportunity to enjoy some sports equipment. We have bikes that are adaptive to support all kids with a variety of abilities. We have Legos for the kids. It's a chance, again, to get some fitness, socialization for those kids to work one-on-one with other kids. The Cardinals have been so amazing in supporting Keene's work. They provide not only our equipment, so we got a grant from them last year to provide a lot of our adaptive equipment. They got us adaptive bikes, fixed some of our bikes and other sports equipment, but they also provide us with lots of tickets to Cardinals games. They've set up player meet and greets, so it's just an opportunity for the kids to be out on the field and be in the spotlight for that moment.
When we return, you ask, I answer. It's Ask Azie after the break.
It's time for this week's Ask Azie. Wendy in Edwardsville, Illinois asks, do position players study opposing hitters to get better jumps? Yes, Wendy, they do. And as a baseball player, as a professional, you would like to know as much about the opposition as you possibly could. So studying hitters, whether they're hot or whether they're not, a lot has to do with your pitcher being able to pitch to a scouting report. So it all goes hand in hand, but as a player, it was always important to know as much about the opposition as I possibly could. If a guy's being asked to be pitched in, if a guy makes that mistake, my job as a defensive player was to cover the mistake that a pitcher may have made on that particular hitter. And so I prided myself on still being able to improvise and make a play when I wasn't in the position that it was called for. So that was the one thing that I felt that I was good at. I was good at still being able to cover a pitcher when he made a mistake from a scouting report. The pitcher that was starting the next game always had to sit behind home plate to chart pitches. And Whitey had a chart that we could go in and see before the game to see whether or not a guy was hot or whether he wasn't. The main thing was that making sure that our pitcher had his scouting report, and whatever the scouting report asked for was the position that we had to play. But as I mentioned, it was important to be able to improvise and make a play if a pitcher wasn't able to pitch to that scouting report. Thanks for the question, Wendy. To submit a question, visit cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Azie tab. But for now, don't go anywhere. There's more Cardinals Insider after the break. Another month in, and another month worth of fun and memorable moments. Here's the best of May in this week's Redbird Reels.
Check the wrist, big time, big play, gotta hit the rewind. Who you got? Pick a side. Rockstar lifestyle certified. Wins. All I know, we gon' head to head, go toe to toe. Let's see who wins.
Walker comes out of nowhere to save it for the Cardinals, who win their ninth straight game. Foul ball up the middle, diving stop, flip to second, and the Cardinals get out of it. Incredible defense. scrambles, fires, hey, got him, what a play! More great Cardinal defense. Hey, got him. He's got 10 in the game. Libby's striking out everybody. That's his 7th strikeout for the first time in his Major League career. A complete game, and it's a shutout.
Check the wrist, big time.
He leaps, and he got it. Victor Scott reaches over the wall and pulls one back. Driven down the left field line, Burleson doubles the other way, and the Cardinals take a 2-1 lead. Herrera with a rocket shot to right center, and the Cardinals are back in front. At the track, Jordan Walker has broken the tie.
All I know, you looking at the goal for real.
That's it for this episode. You can catch us online at 4 p.m. each Friday at cardinals.com/insider and on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you right back here next week.